Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Welcome, gentlemen. Congratulations on your nominations. I'd also like to greet and welcome your families and friends and who are here today in support of you as they have been throughout your life. I also want to recognize Representative Pfluger, who will introduce Mr. Marks and Mr. Matthews momentarily. Thank you, sir. Mr. Williams, you've been nominated to be the Undersecretary of Energy for Nuclear Security and Administrator of the National Nuclear Security Administration, or NNSA. If confirmed, you will be responsible for the programs and personnel responsible for modernizing and overseeing our nuclear stockpiles and production facilities. I am concerned that the Trump administration has already undermined this mission. Last month, nearly 200 NNSA nuclear engineers were abruptly fired, then hastily rehired. Another 150 employees took the deferred retirement option. Just last week, more than 8,500 employees at the Department of Energy, about half of the entire workforce, were identified by the Office of Management and Budget to be fired, including 500 NNSA employees. The potential damage to the NNSA and the threat to the safety of all Americans should be alarming. Mr. Williams is a former congressman, Navy veteran, and entrepreneur. I would like to know how you will approach this challenge and how you will work to protect the vital workforce of the NNSA. Mr. Hansel, you have been nominated to be Undersecretary of Defense for Intelligence and Security. If confirmed, you will have a dual-hat role as the Principal Intelligence Advisor to the Secretary of Defense and the Director of Defense Intelligence in the Office of the Director of National Intelligence. The complexity of the global threat environment we face is unprecedented. China, Russia, Iran, North Korea, and many other actors pose serious challenges to our national security, and you will be responsible for ensuring the defense intelligence enterprise is equipped with the resources and capabilities it needs to meet these challenges. These are immensely complicated networks that we face, but your experience in the Navy, Army, and the private sector will be valuable in such a complex position. Mr. Hansel, I welcome your thoughts about how you intend to foster transformation within the intelligence enterprise and ensure that the military has timely and accurate information to defend the nation. Military leaders often say that America's network of allies and partners is our greatest asymmetric advantage over our global competitors. If confirmed, you will be in charge of managing and facilitating our intelligence relationships with foreign military partners. I fear that many of the actions taken by the President and his subordinates, such as cabinet members discussing classified information on Signal, to eliminating foreign assistance, to placing tariffs on many of our closest allies, undermines these longstanding relationships and makes it less likely that they will trust us with their most sensitive information. I hope you will lay out your plan for ensuring that our network of allies and partners remains strong. Mr. Matthews, you have been nominated to be the General Counsel of the Department of Defense. The General Counsel serves as the Chief Legal Officer of the Department of Defense and is the primary legal advisor to the Secretary of Defense. If confirmed, you would provide legal advice and counsel on the full scope of Defense Department missions and responsibilities, including the roles and functions of the military, contracting and acquisitions, military health care, law of armed conflict, military justice, and more. Frankly, I am concerned about the legality of certain activities the Trump administration has ordered the military to execute over the past several months. Public trust in the military can never be taken for granted, and civilian control of the military is a sacred duty that must be carried out responsibly. Mr. Matthews, you have extensive experience as a judge advocate in the U.S. Army and the Army National Guard, and I expect you to always exercise independent professional judgment and to give your best legal counsel to the Secretary of Defense, even if, or especially if, that advice is not what they would want to hear. I would like to know how you will plan to demonstrate this ethos and represent all service members with the professionalism they deserve. Finally, Mr. Marks, you have been nominated to be Assistant Secretary of Defense for Energy, Installations, and Environment. If confirmed, you will oversee the Defense Department's physical footprint, provide management of military installations worldwide, and coordinate environmental, safety, and occupational health programs. Your extensive background in the U.S. Air Force managing infrastructure, testing, logistics, and other issues should serve you very well. There are a number of significant challenges you will need to address. In particular, military construction has been underfunded for many years, forcing service members and defense civilians to manage their missions with inadequate infrastructure. Similarly, enlisted barracks and the military housing privatization initiative require greater oversight to meet the standards that our service members and military families deserve. These are issues that this committee has addressed extensively over the years. Further, as extreme weather and growing energy demands impede readiness, you will need to pursue new ways to improve the resilience of military installations and support operational energy programs to extend the capabilities of our warfighters. Mr. Marks, I welcome your thoughts on how you will address each of these interrelated challenges. I thank the nominees again for your willingness to serve our nation. I look forward to your testimony. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Senator Reed.